What's going on, guys? So I'm gonna start off by saying I'm jumping way ahead because I had a video made, but it was very sloppy and it didn't make too much sense. So I'm just gonna go over it all at once. So this is the fuselage right now, and the nose that I was talking about in my last video wasn't that great. So I took it apart and I'm going to rebuild it. But what I did get done right now was, obviously, all the dowels are glued, as you guys saw, and the time lapses that I put in the beginning. I figured I would save at least the time lapses because they're cool to look at. So I got the dowels put on, glued between each piece, sanded down the ribs. This one got loose. Yeah, this is a longer piece, and there's a crease here, so it's a weak point. So I'm gonna have to fix that. But yeah, so I got that done. And as far as the nose goes, I'm gonna show you guys what I have. So this is the older. This is now. Let me tell you. You see all these markings. It took me forever to shape this, and it's not even perfect, really. I have so much crap laying around that I'm trying to find where the clean version of the nose went. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Here it is. Hold on. I'm gonna sand this down too. This is the cleaner version of the nose. So this is gonna be the shape of it. And then these two things are going to be what I put on the sides and build the ribs like I did for those. So it's a lot of work still that we have to do. And by the way, if you guys are wondering what I sanded with, I bought this at Walmart. Pretty cheap. It was like $2.70. Some Gator 60 to 80 grit sandpaper. I got the sponge so it's easier to hold in the hand instead of just paper. So, yeah. So, like I said, guys, I'm redoing this because my last video was really sloppy and just jumped all over the place. I didn't really like it. So, we're going to keep it interesting, more entertaining. So, if you guys can see the difference between my last model, it's pretty embarrassing. There is a huge difference. You see that, guys? A huge difference. This one is way better. But this one's pretty cool, too. And I'm going to recycle these parts. I'm going to use these parts so I'm not wasting anything, because that's a lot of board right there. That's a lot of good material. So we're gonna use that, cut it up, whatnot, and then with this, I'm gonna have to glue this, but that's fine. And I'm gonna sand down the nose here. Now that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight, is sanding down the nose and doing the nose, and then probably starting the bottom of the ribs and stuff for the fuselage. It's gonna be a lot of work, but that's fine. It's gonna be worth it. Just, you know, practice makes perfect, and we're getting somewhere. You know, this is not an easy build, alright? It takes a while. It's going to take me at least a couple months, because this is going to look something like that. Well, more like this, but that's fine. So yeah, so we have a lot of work to do. All I have is literally the frame for the fuselage, and nothing else. So, my goals tonight is to get the nose finished completely as far as the ribs and stuff. One thing I do want to mention or point out is I'm going to run into a bit of an issue due to the fact that I'm going to Texas next month. My money situation is not going to be good at all. And in order to build a project like this and finish parts of it, you have to install electronics first, because if you build the plane and then you haven't put any of the electronics in it, you're going to have to rip it apart, all that work, just to put it. So you have to build the electronics with it as you go along, which means I have to spend money. And it's not much, but I still have to buy things. So it's going to take me a little bit for that, but we still have a lot to go. We still have a pretty good amount of stuff to do before I get to the part where I have to buy electronics. So I still have some time to buy, so maybe it can just work out all together. Yeah, and then I still have to figure out some dimensions, because I don't have everything figured out yet. So, that's just that. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to sand down, actually I'm going to do this now, I'm going to sand the nose down now, use this template. I'm probably going to cut something like this, so this can be all cut out, save some weight, and also help me have more room for stuff. So I'm going to take the sandpaper, guys, and we are going to sand down the plane. Right now, we're going to hop right into the time lapse, guys. So let's hop right into it. so nose is sanded, and it looks a lot better. If you can see the difference between how rough the old one is versus the new one, there's a bit of a difference. Looks nice. This is what's going to be on the plane. I also have to do these, but I'm going to wait on these because I messed up on the nose before, and I want to make sure I do it right this time. So I'm going to put a lot of calculation into the nose here, but I do have a pretty good shape. It arguably, I don't know. However you pronounce, I can't English. I can't English properly. Oh my god. Whatever. Alright, if you look at that from afar, guys, I'm pretty sure you could agree that that looks like a pretty accurate A320 nose. Alright, that's pretty good, okay? That's not bad at all. So I'm happy with that result. That's a great result. It's going to look great. You know, I'm going to have a big challenge ahead when it comes to shaping the nose. Oh my god. I'm very stressed. But it's going to be good. Alright, we're going to do it. And then that's tonight's thing, is I'm going to finish this. That's tonight's goal. It's going to take me a long, long time. But we have to do it. So for those of you guys who want to do this project, and I know someone is doing it, just remember the nose is the hardest part. So don't feel bad, okay? Because it's taken me a long time. All right, it's difficult. You have to measure so many different things for the nose. You have to make sure the nose is round. You have to make sure it's proportionate. You have to make sure everything matches up with the fuselage. It is not an easy task to design a nose for a plane when you're making it handmade. So don't, seriously guys, don't feel bad about it. I'm having a lot of trouble with it, and I've been working on this thing for, oh god, it's, I don't know, at least 4 days so far. So it's going to be a lot of work, but just remember guys, it's doable. Just take your time. I'll try to walk you guys through what I do for it. I'm not saying I'm the best, because you probably watch Ramey's videos. He kicks butt when it comes to building these things, obviously. But I don't know. If you guys want to watch me do it, trial and error. Because you can see the difference here. Which one's nicer? I'm going to have to say this one. Not only because it's cleaner, like with no drawing, but like just because it's nice and round. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So it's a lot of work. But it's definitely a big payoff when you finish it. So tonight's going to be great when I finish it. Tail is the next thing we're going to do. We're going to do the tail probably within the next week. I still have a lot of dimensions to figure out. Tonight's going to be a big night in my opinion, because the nose is what I'm going to try to accomplish. There's a couple of things I have to figure out still, but yeah, you guys are going to see a lot of repetitiveness in my videos, and it's figuring things out. There's always going to be a challenge. You're literally building an airliner out of foam. You're building one of these out of foam. It's not an easy task. Could you imagine scaling every bit of this plane in foam? So it's hard work, guys. But we're going to hop in to the next part a little bit later, and we're going to start working on the nose. So we'll get right to that.